Heyman 6'4", 220 pounds. Swing and a miss, strike two. Now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's back-to-back pitches. We saw him struggle early in this ball game, a little too tight on the grip. Nothing wrong with those last 2 pitches.
Zeal comes set. Ball 2, strike 2 with a base runner at second. Hard on the ground, Jimenez is short, knocks it down and skips into short left field. This is going to score a run. Here comes Curlin around third, and he'll score standing up, and the Gators have a 1-0 lead. That ball was scorched out at Jimenez at shortstop. Tried to stay in front of it, hit so hard that when it ricocheted off his body, went out into left field.
Yeah, just a ground ball right at him, just in between hops there, and a little lazy with his footwork there. I'm not sure if that ball just snuck up on him or not. Should go down as an error. They have not given an official call yet. But that's definitely a play you expect your shortstop to make. We saw him make an incredible play just a couple hitters ago. Now that one, that ball eats him up.
Colby Shelton digs in, first ball swinging, 0-1. The official score is still undecided.
Yeah, they just gave it an error right now.
Okay. Well, after a great play, has a boot. Shelton pops this one up third base side and out of play.
Yeah, again, on that ground ball, Joe, you saw Jimenez with the runner second, not playing his usual depth. Normally you'll see the shortstop out by the grass clay line. There's a couple feet in front of that, and just an in-between hop. Got a little lazy with his feet. I'm not sure if he should have maybe taken a step back and backhanded that. Either way, just not a good play there.
Here comes the 0-2. Shelton pops this one up. Backing up is Gonzalez. Still backing up Gonzalez. Long is out there, and it's going to be Dorian Gonzalez with a one-handed grab. That one hung in the air forever.
Yeah, and I would have liked to see Long take charge. I mean, he's the center fielder. He's the guy who's in charge of making that call. Not that Gonzalez can't make that play, but that ball, as you mentioned, stayed up there a very long time, and I thought enough for Long to come in there and make that play. Much easier play for him to get coming in than it is for Gonzalez going out.
Here is Ty Evans, a big, strong, right-handed hitter. Maybe a little bit undisciplined at times, but always looking to do a lot of damage. He's going to turn it loose. A swing and a miss, 0-1. He's not going to wait around.
I'll tell you what, Gage has got that slider really working for him now after throwing that first one in the dirt. Nice tight spin, keeping it down in the count, in the zone.
Next one to Evans, takes it high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Evans a pull hitter. Cuvée at third on his toes. That one's fisted foul a little bit late. And Zeal's in front of him, 1-2. Last year, Evans in 49 games at 44 starts set a College World Series record with 5 home runs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Zeal strikes out Evans and limits the damage. They get a run on 1 hit. There was an error after a half inning. It's the Gators 1 and the Hurricanes just come.
He's given up 10 hits, but the one thing that will jump out of the stat sheet, despite the ERA of 9 and a batting average against him of 333, in 7 innings of work, he's striking out 14. So he shows he's got good stuff on the mound. It's just a matter of making sure he works both sides of the plate.
Shelnut, Robertson, and Evans in the outfield, supporting him on the infield. Thomas and Shelton, a very good shortstop. Albert at second with Gaglione at first, and handling him behind the plate is Heyman. Villegas digs in, had a 3 RBI night in the midweek game. 1 ball, no strikes. Perfect game named Kate Fisher an All-American last year. The 2-0. Villegas sharply on the ground. Nice play by the second baseman Albert. On to first in time. Well done by Armando Albert at second base.
Yeah, for a minute off the bat of Villegas, it looked like it might have gotten into the hole. But as you mentioned, a nice play there at second base. Just ranges over to his left and makes a nice little play there by Armando Albert.
The Gators rank 4th in the country. There's Blake Sear. First ball swing, lifts it foul. Played for the championship last year at the College World Series. That's in there for strike 2. Sears average under 200. You mentioned before we got going here, so Miami's going to need his bat this weekend.
Yeah, you know, he missed some time, as we mentioned earlier this week in that midweek game. He had to spend some time up with his family. He had a difficult situation for himself there. And, you know, he's back with the Canes, but, you know, he started off pretty good that opening week and just hasn't been himself. And, of course, coming back from that family issue, had a rough day this past Wednesday against Florida Gulf Coast, and hopefully he gets going here for this Canes, and they need him to go.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Sear waiting on the pitch. That backs him away. It's 3-2. Kate Fisher turned in a gem last year in the regionals. 7 innings against Texas Tech. That was an elimination game for the Gators. Sear is called out on strikes.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that pitch once again. A good fastball there by Fisher as he catches the top part of that zone. And of course, Zier thought that was up. We'll take a look at it right here. And that's a close pitch. It could have gone either way. Of course, all that matters right now is what Linus Baker behind the plate thinks, and he thought that was a strike.
Cuvée is hit by a pitch. Fisher tries to come inside and hits Cuvée. Cuvée gives a quick glance to Fisher, who appeared in 5 of Florida's 6 games at the College World Series.
I'll tell you what, Cuvé's had a couple moments there walking down that line. He kept looking back at Fisher. Fisher kept his head down, but we'll keep an eye. These two teams, again, we mentioned at the Open, they do not like each other. There's no way of sugarcoating that one.
That's the Canes and the Gators. In any sport, you don't like each other. Torres digs in, takes it high for a ball. Miami leads the series 134 to 132, and there's been 1 tie. But recently, the series has belonged to the Gators. Kevin O'Sullivan has really done a good job, especially against Miami. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, it seemed as if it was always Miami breaking the Gators' heart. Under O'Sullivan, that's gone the other way. Torres waiting on the 1-1. That's in there for strike 2.
Yeah, anytime you have a new head coach, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, and baseball is no different. It's those rivalry weekends and how you do that go a long way and how you're judged.
Torres looks at the 1-2 outside. Ball 2, strike 2.
Yeah, so for J.D. Arteaga, this is his first game, rivalry game for him as a head coach. He's played in many of them as a player. He's coached in many of them as a pitching coach, but now he's the skipper. And this will go a long way in determining what kind of season his club will have.
Torres takes it inside to the belt. Full count now, 3-2. So Cuvée will get a head start. And part of the storyline this weekend for the University of Miami is to see if they can find a way to win a series against the Gators as Torres goes down swinging on a breaking ball, and the Canes are gone in the first. No runs, no hits, a hit batter, 1 else. Here at the lights. Nothing like these games at this gem in Coral Gables. Gators with a 1-0 lead. Shelnut will start things off. The left fielder hitting at .345.
Of course, Miami, a hotbed for the Gator alumni. Many high schoolers end up going up to Gainesville and attending the University of Florida. Some that don't go there end up going to Tallahassee and attending Florida State. So whenever those teams come and play at the Light, or they play at the Joe Robbie or Orange Bowl, whatever we call it nowadays, you tend to get a little bit of a mixed crowd.
Shelnut, a very aggressive hitter. Always trying to hit everything out of sight. 3 home runs so far this season. .3-1 from Zeal. A swing and a miss. I joked that Miami played the Gators the College World Series when Pete Alonso was with the Gators, and he had a home run against Miami, and it's still traveling around the earth.
Yeah, he had many of those as a college player.
Full count. Struck him out. Zeal strikes out Shelnutt.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something, Joe. He's onto something with that off-speed pitch. This is that changeup. I mean, we've seen him throwing a little backwards. 3-1. He came with a slider, made it 3-2. 3-2. You have a hitter sitting up there thinking, okay, he's come back with a fastball. And you don't see a lot of righties throw changeups to righties. Typically, they throw it to that lefty, but instead, he goes a 3-2 changeup there, swings right through it.
Here is Albert. Up on the grass is Covey at third. Albert can play small ball. 0-2. Armando Albert off to a 4:44 start. Albert from Plantation, right up the road, and 0-2. Strike 3 called, right on the letters. And Zeal has struck out 3 in a row.
Yeah, good pitch right there. We saw one last half inning against Sear. That was a borderline strike. Went the Gators' ways. In this case, Gage tries to go up right around the letters. You saw the catcher Perez. He sets up a little bit high there, trying to get him either to chase. But instead of chasing, he got the third called strike, and that's 2 punch-outs to start this inning.
Here comes Thomas, another free swinger. The Gators are like a major league team that just about every guy in this the lineup, except for Albert, can swing for the fences. Swing and a miss.
He must have heard.
Came right out of his shoes on that one.
He was going for it on that one. And you get Gage now 0-2 ahead of the count. Looking to strike out the side.
0-2 on Thomas. And the pitch on the way. Miami's got him played toward left field. Gonzalez is almost behind the bag a second. You get the feeling that Thomas, the way he swings, there's no way he's going the opposite way. Here comes the 1-2. Off the outside corner, 2-2. Bishop Moore High School. Dale Thomas waits on the 2-2 offering. Oh my goodness gracious. Linus Baker looked at that one for a long time. I don't think he can make up his mind.
Yeah, you know, you can't. It's hard as an umpire. If you're going to give that high strike, it's going to be tough on these hitters if you give the low strike. And I think maybe Carlos Perez maybe overframed that a little bit. Kind of moved the glove maybe too much.
Here comes the payoff. That one is off the outside corner, and Zeal lost them. Now Michael Robertson. Zeal with beads of sweat on his forehead. Here's another look at.
Yeah, this is a 2-2 pitch.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but you see what I'm talking about? You saw the way Perez moved that. Sometimes, you know, you move that glove so much, it makes the pitch look a lot worse than it was. Instead of kind of sticking it, you know, as a catcher, just go ahead and stick it right there. Again, it was a borderline pitch. I'm not sure. It could have gone either way. And if you're the home plate umpire and you're giving the high strike, it's tough to give the high ones and the low ones. So I'm okay with that call.
Robertson last year saw action in 66 games. Zeal falls behind 2-0. Robertson might be one of the few guys, along with Albert, that doesn't swing out of his shoes. Kind of a spray hitter for the Gators. He reached base safely in his first 28 games of his collegiate career. That one fisted foul. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, one of the things you look at, Joe, when you see a pitcher on the mound and what kind of stuff you have. When you got a 2-0 count and you got a hitter at the plate, and the hitter at the plate saying, okay, I'm sitting fastball right now, and you get that fastball as a hitter and you still get jammed, that's a pretty good indication the guy on the mound's throwing some good stuff.
Two balls, 1 strike. In Robertson's bio, it says one of his hobbies is playing video games. And I would like to ask you this. In what bio of any kid is it not going to say he likes playing video games?
Whether it says it or not, you know they all like
they
it,
all
right?
play video games.
It's crazy, eh?
Ball 2, strike 2, a man aboard. In the air to left field. Villegas toward the line. Got it measured and makes the catch. Down go the Gators. They'll straight. Here comes Gonzalez. Takes the first one for a strike. Hurricane fans prefer to go back and remember, you know, like 1985 when Rodney Brewer dropped the fly ball in left field during a regional final, sent Miami to the World Series. Or when Jim Burt hit one off the fence in 2002 up in Gainesville and knocked the Gators out of the regionals. And Miami fans want to talk about those days.
Yeah.
Gator fans want to talk about recent history.
Yeah, they want to talk about what have you done for me lately. But you go back to recent history and we talk about the success Florida's had against Miami. I mean, you could almost say that about every program they've played because they've had a lot of success over that same time period around college baseball.
Grounded out towards short. Bobbled by the shortstop. He'll have to hurry. The throw not in time. Shelton bobbles the ball and Gonzalez beats it out. That'll be an error on the shortstop, Colby Shelton.
Yeah, a little bit of nerves early in this ball game by both ball clubs. This is a routine play up the middle. You got to make this play. It looks like maybe, as we saw earlier in the game with Jimenez, gets stuck in between hops. So that second hop right there, actually, no, it's an easy hop. Just kind of boots it. Either way, the Hurricanes get the leadoff runner on, first runner of the night for them. Actually, second runner, they did get Cuvée on a hit by pitch that first inning.
Here is Costello. Talked to him in the dugout before the game, and he's glad to be in this rivalry. Waited a long time to play against the Gators. 2 balls and no strikes. The Gators shortstop Colby Shelton played for Alabama last year. That one's grounded into left field for a base hit. And now Miami has something percolating here in the second. 2 on and nobody out for Carlos Perez.
Yeah, great aggressive hitting there by Costello. 2-0 count. Fisher forced to go right after with a fastball out over the plate. And Costello, a nice job of hitting that ball hard between the shortstop and the third baseman for the first base hit of the evening for the Canes. As you mentioned, now runners at first and second and no outs, and Carlos Perez coming to the plate. We'll see just how J.D. Arteaga wants to play this early in the ballgame.
Perez had 13 home runs last season. He squares around the bunt and pops it up. Third base side, and the catch is made by the third baseman, Thomas. So Perez fails to execute the sacrifice bunt. Perez and Jack Scanlon are in a platoon situation. They're both about the same in terms of catching, handling, maybe a few differences here and there, but JD's decided they're going to platoon.
Yeah, they're going to platoon. You'll probably see Perez more than you will Scanlon, but you're right, it's a platoon situation. Perez, who has some surprising power at the plate. I mean, he hits down on the lineup, but he had 13 home runs last year. And clearly a situation where Coach Arteaga felt, you know, let me move him over and take my chances with runners second and third. Just wasn't able to get that ball down.
Gonzalez at second, Costello at first, Jimenez the hitter, in the air to right field. Backing up is Ty Evans, still backing up is Evans. He's at the warning track. The ballpark will hold it. He'll make a one-handed catch. Gonzalez tags at second. He'll move to third. That leaves it up to Jacoby Long to try to level this game.
Yeah, and in the lineup today, you see Long, who had not been the everyday starter. This is basically his third start of the year. But a situation where clearly Arteaga going more with defense than he is with offense. Carrier, known as the better offensive player in the outfield, he's going to be resting tonight, at least the early part of this game, as JD goes with defense with Long at center field. This is the best defensive team the Hurricanes put out there.
Long digs in, looking to try to tie this game. Gonzalez at third, looking for a ride home. Nothing in one. Cade Fisher, a cool customer on the mound. A lot of experience. Pitched in clutch situations a year ago for the Gators. Works out of the stretch. Swing and a miss. Long falls behind, 0-2.
Yeah, it's just a great pitch right there by Fisher. You saw the catcher sets up on the outside part of the plate, just basically paints the black. Very difficult to hit that ball right there. As a hitter, you gotta force yourself to stay back and try to think of driving something the other way, and just trust your hands. So if Fisher comes in with that 92, 93 heat, you gotta be quick enough to turn on it.
Fisher, 6'4", 210 pounds. A sophomore from Dalton, Georgia. Had some big moments for the Gators last season. The 0-2. Bouncing ball up the middle, backhanded. Tough play to throw the first in time. Nice play by Armando Albert behind the bag at second to save a run. Albert ranging far to his right on the backhand, and the Gators celebrating the dugout.
Base hit going up the middle, and then he realizes the second baseman makes a great play, gets back in line. I mean, that's fundamental baseball. You got to run down the line, and if the ball gets to the outfield, go ahead and break around and get that angle to make the turn. But first, you got to make sure you can beat that throw out. Long has got way too much speed, and really a mental error there by the Hurricanes.
Cade Curlin played in 68 of Florida's 71 games a year ago. Big swing and a miss. My goodness. That one went right up the ladder. Curlin started the ball game with a base hit to left field. Struck him out. Again went right up the ladder.
Yeah, learned from that first at bat. We saw the first at bat that pitched down and away, a good piece of hitting by Curlin. This time around, you see again, Perez kind of gets up a little bit, gives him a good target, and just too much heat there as he blows it right by the leadoff hitter, Cade Curlin. A good start to the inning for Gage Zeal.
One out, nobody on. Caglione popped up to shallow left field in the first inning. Jimenez made a really nice play over the shoulder catch. 1-0 Florida here in the third. Gators ranked 4th in the country, trying to continue their dominance over Miami. (2-0) from Zeal. Off the fist foul coming back this way.
That ball just actually went right by Chief of Staff for this University of Miami, Rudy Fernandez, sitting out there in one of the suites. And I don't have to give Rudy a hard time. I think he should have made that play.
Yep.
I mean, he could have made the play there.
Zeal comes inside and misses on the corner, 3-1.
As Joe was about to say before that pitch, you look at situations in baseball right now, the Hurricanes playing the shift. And we saw a great play by Jimenez. But with the runner at first, Jimenez was playing shortstop. They were playing conventional. If there was no one on, that might have been a base hit, because I'm not sure Cuvée gets that ball.
Caglione rips this one into right center field. Miami had the shift on, and Jimenez dove for it. He still couldn't catch up to it. Caglione looks every bit like a major leaguer. He's 6'5", 250 pounds.
Yeah, it almost looks like off the bat. I'm not sure if Jimenez just didn't pick it up. You have the pitcher right in your way there. You have the umpire who's in the middle of the field, and it could have been just didn't really pick it up off the bat. It looked like a little delayed, his reaction up the middle.
That was the exit velocity that time was 119.
Well, maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why he didn't catch up to it.
Maybe that's why he looked delayed. It wasn't him, it was the ball.
Here's Luke Heyman. Heyman reached on an error in the first inning that scored a run. I was going to say that Caglione, big and strong. Kind of reminds me of Cody Bellinger a little bit. Played for the Dodgers and the Cubs. Heyman takes the 1-1 from Zeal. High and outside, 2-1. Heyman swings and drills this one deep to left, but that's nothing more than a loud strike. Strong right-handed hitter, strong hands. He's a pull hitter looking to hit everything out of the ballpark. Let's see where Miami goes with this one in the 2-2. He lines it down the right field line. That one is foul, so he's spraying it everywhere.
Joe, want to send our good evening to one of our colleagues up north in Gainesville. Nick Belmonte's tuning in today. Of course, Nick does a great job covering the Gators, and
I mean that's Mr. Gator right there.
That is Mr. Gator, but he's a South Florida guy. Played local sports, of course. Played for the Gators. I remember when Nick covered me when I played high school baseball.
Ball 2, strike 2. Heyman off the fist foul.
You never know who's going to tune in at night.
That's right. Heyman every now and then pulls off the ball. But if he doesn't, look out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All ACC, all SEC freshman team. 51 starts a year ago. 12 home runs, 2 triples. Lines this one. Gonzalez makes the play. Fires the first. Got him. Double play. Line drive, double play. On the shift, Gonzalez spears it. So the Canes and the Gators will play an afternoon contest tomorrow at 3 and then Sunday at 1. Friday night, always a great night here in Coral Gables for college baseball. Saturday night's usually a great night, but be a little bit earlier tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because when you think of the most epic games.
That one is squibbed into short left field for a base hit. Villegas is aboard for Miami.
Yeah, it wasn't hit particularly hard, but great location off that cue stick. But Joe, you go back and you know, it's great for these two programs. It's going to be a national TV game tomorrow. So because of that, instead of the standard 7 o'clock Saturday game, they're going to play at 3, which hurts the Canes because it does take away from that home field advantage you might get at night. Saturday night's typically the largest drawing night for the weekend series. It won't be tomorrow because at 3 o'clock, you're just not going to have the same fans out here.
Here's Blake Sear. Sear struck out his first time up. Nothing for 1 tonight. The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one pulled on the ground. That's a fair ball off the glove of Thomas at third. And Miami again has something going with runners at first and second.
Yeah, it's gonna go down for a base hit, but I gotta tell you, I mean, that would have been an incredible play at third base if he makes the play. But just knocking this ball down and keeping it in the infield keeps this from being a double. You would have had runners at second and third with Cuvée coming to the plate. Instead, you still get runners at first and second. So I know he would have loved to have fielded that ball cleanly and tried to make a play somewhere. I think there was no chance at first or second if he fields it, but a great job keeping that ball in the infield.
Now here comes a big storyline. Daniel Cuvée hit by a pitch his first time up. Check swing, did he offer? Cuvée with 5 home runs, freshman home run leaders. Cuvée thinking about bringing Villegas around to tie this game. Takes that one inside, levels the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cuvée hit by a pitch his first time up, then stared down the left-hander Cade Fisher. Right now his base runners at first and second. Villegas, base runner at second. Sear aboard at first. A 1 ball, 1 strike count. Swing and a miss, then it's 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch by Fisher coming back. You saw him on the previous pitch. He tried to bust him in a little bit with that fastball. This one out over the plate, up by the letters.
And ball 1, strike 2 count. Bouncing ball up the middle, could be 2. There's 1. The relay to first is going to be in time for a double play. Shelton to Albert, on to Taglione. It's a 6-4-3 double play. take some of the wind right out of Miami's sails here in the third.
Yeah, and I go back to the play as we take a look at this double play ball. Ground ball right back up the middle. Nice, easy feed to second base. They know they have plenty of time. They make that turnover to first as they turn two. You see the play at first, get them by half a step. But you know what makes that play possible? Let's go back to Sears at bat. Third baseman Dale Thomas doing a great job of knocking that ball down and keeping it in the infield. If that ball gets past him, you would have at least had one run scored.
Here is Torres. Torres, a strikeout victim in the first inning against Cade Fisher. Fisher 1-1, earner an average of 9 so far this season. 2 balls, no strikes. That one's outside. Perhaps Fisher would rather pitch to Gonzalez. I don't know, but it's 3-0.
Yeah, and you look at the year stats for Fisher coming into this ball game. I mentioned the 14 strikeouts.
Torres goes the other way to right field. Hit it well. Did he get enough? Evans to the wall. That ball's gone. It's a home run. Torres in opposite field. 2-run home run. And Miami has a 2-1 lead as the fans at the light go wild.
Well, the fans are waiting for some excitement here as the Hurricane fans go nuts. And the fire hydrant goes off. And the smoke is going out. And the Canes are up 2-1. This is the second time this week we've seen Torres go opposite field. Wednesday night's game just gets it over the right field fence by the 330 sign. This one, almost the same spot. A big 2-out home run to give the Canes the lead.
So Miami has a 2-1 lead here in the third.
Yeah, that's not a bad pitch. It's up and away. I mean, you don't have a lot of right-handed hitters that are going to have that power to take that ball the other way. And Torres now the Hurricane leader in home runs with his 6th bomb of this young season.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gonzalez fouls it away. Here's the 1-2 off the end of the bat.
I started saying before that home run that you look at Fisher's struggles. It hasn't been control. He's only got 2 walks coming into this game with 14 strikeouts. That's a great strikeout to walk ratio. They've just been able to hit him. They got 14. They're hitting 333 against him.
Gonzalez strikes out. They'll have to make the play at first, and they do. But Miami touches up Fisher for 2 runs and a 2-1 lead for Miami as we go to the 4th.
Yeah, he's been a pleasant surprise for this Hurricane team to start the season. Hitting behind Cuvée, now the sophomore, with his 6th home run and 16th RBI.
Colby Shelton, left-handed hitter. One of those guys that has a really good feel for hitting. Born to be a hitter, good feel for his craft. Colby Shelton popped up to the second baseman his first time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick Belmonte was checking in with you about his days against Randy Guerra and Stan Jakubowski. Dandy Randy Guerra, whose number is retired here. He was a 20-game winner as a pitcher, Richo. And as a hitter, he had 252 hits at the University of Miami, 39 career home runs. And then Stan Jakubowski, who pitched Miami to the College World Series. We were talking about video games earlier. Stan Jakubowski had 27 complete games.
They just don't do that anymore. That just doesn't happen.
He pitched 430 innings. There's a drive down the right field line. It's going to be a foul ball. He hooked it foul. Miami's first ever appearance in the College World Series was 1974. Now that's before I was doing the games. 2-2. Again, he pulls it down the line, foul.
Well, Nick made it seem like you and I were around back then covering these games. Nick, I know we're up there in age. I'm not sure, we were around to cover those games. That was 74. I was just 2.
I have to say this. Jakubowski was 19. Now swing and a miss, he struck him out. Perez holds on to it. I remember listening to the game on the radio while I was playing a Little League baseball game.
There you go. So we know for sure you weren't covering it.
No. But I remember Jack Kabowski, that's for sure. Shelton becomes the 5th Gator to fan tonight. And now here's Ty Evans. He hits this one. Oh, knocked down by Zeal. Ricochets out towards second. Barehanded by Gonzalez. And his throw is too late. Ty Evans lines one up the middle, and Gage Zeal in self-defense knocks it down. But it's an infield hit for Evans.
Yeah, the ball's hit well. If that ball gets past Zeal, it's right at the second baseman, Gonzalez. And there's nothing you could do there. I mean, your reaction is your reaction, right? So as a pitcher, you see a ball come up the middle, you're trying to make the play, and we're going to have the trainer come out and just check on him, make sure he's okay.
Here comes Shelnut, the left fielder. You get a guy like Shelnut that comes up, who's very aggressive, looking to hit the ball to Pluto. What are you thinking about early on, the first couple of pitches?
Well, you know, it's you got to stay within your approach always. So right now, you know, you got the 1-run advantage. You just got 2 runs. If you're as a hitter, so you take it as a hitter, you want to be aggressive. As a pitcher, you know you're going to play against that aggressiveness. So that's kind of the way you want to approach it, both ways. But you're seeing this Gator team, they're really aggressive at the plate right now. So a lot of first pitch swinging. They're taking big swings. You mentioned this is like a big league team at the plate.
Here's the 1-0 from Zeal. This one drilled to left field. Backing up is Villegas. That's over his head and off the wall on one hop like it was hit out of a cannon. And the Gators are going to have runners at second and third.
Yeah, this goes back to those at-bats. We're seeing some pretty good at-bats by this Gator team. Just 1 run on the night, but they got 4 hits to go with those runs. And now runners are second and third. As we take a look at it right here, that pitch just kind of hangs up there a little bit. Not sure. It looks like he came in with an off-speed pitch. I'm not sure if that was a fastball or not. Couldn't tell, but either way, pitch is up in the zone a little bit. We're going to have a pitching visit as Laz Gutierrez comes out of the dugout, Joe.
I feel like the Gators, you mentioned how aggressive they are. Talking
ways, it goes sideways quick. And I think that's why you just saw Laz go out there, to kind of keep him under control. It's no big deal right now. Let's get this hitter out.
Second and third, Albert at the plate. Armando Albert, a transfer from FAU. Played in 113 games at FAU, starting 112. Miami plays the infield back except Cuvée at third. Ground ball to first. Going to be a play at the plate. Here's the throw. He's going to be safe at home plate underneath the tag. Torres' throw came in a little bit light, and Evans is able to slide around the tag of Perez, and the game is tied at 2.
Yeah, we're going to have a review at the plate here. As you mentioned, the throw is on the first base side of the plate. It's so critical you give that catcher a good throw on the third base side. It makes it easy to apply the tag. Instead, Perez has to reach, and we'll take a look at it right here. See the throw to the right side of the bag. He reaches for it, gets it, and I'm not sure. We couldn't see anything there. We'll see here, this look here.
Yeah, he's safe.
Yeah, that's a great slide.
Watch
him pull the left hand back. As he goes out with the left hand, he pulls it back as the tag's about to be applied. And by the time he tags it, I think that right hand already caught the plate. That right hand, yeah, he's safe.
That's a great baseball play. I mean, all Perez can do is lunge as far as he can, because Torres didn't give him a good enough throw.
Yeah, he's safe.
So these are the little plays in this series. These are the little plays in this series, this rivalry, that have, tilted it sometimes one way. Gage Zeal got exactly what he needed. A ground ball, perfect hop to Torres. He's got to make a better throw than that.
Yeah, no doubt. But what an incredible slide.
Yeah, that's a great slide. That's pretty close right there, though.
Yeah, let's talk about the slide. Just what an incredible slide. The ability, you're going head first. A lot of coaches will tell you, don't ever slide head first at the plate, right? You're going head first. Your left hand and your right hand are going out, and all of a sudden, when you see the catcher about to tag your left hand, you pull that left hand back and slide that right hand in there. Just a great ability to get in there. And again, I did not see anything that's going to reverse this call. And it goes back to the throw. The throw's just on the wrong side of the bag. And once Parrish reached for it, you knew it was going to be a tight play at the plate. And just an exceptional slide to get in there.
Evans has played in a lot of games from Auburndale, Florida. And very clever play. Here comes the result. Safe. We're tied at 2. By the way, we had a review the other night on a strikeout where the ball was dropped, but the umpire at home plate called it Miami hit her out, and then they threw the ball around the horn, and then they went to the replay and gave Gonzalez first base. The only problem with that was that that's not a reviewable play.
It's not a reviewable play, and of course, once the umpire calls out, like how do you? It's
right.
You know, it would be. We didn't use this example. Imagine right now there were 2 outs in the inning, and something happens. The home plate umpire calls the hitter out, and then you as a catcher roll the ball back to the pitcher's mound. Everyone runs in, and runners just run around and score. Then they go back and review and say, oh, like things like that, they shouldn't happen. The reviews are not supposed to change the game that way, right. And that's why you shouldn't review the play they reviewed, because of something like that. They threw to third base instead, all of a sudden, you know, and it could have cost the ball game for that, you know, Eagles team. Sort of Gulf Coast, you know, that might have been the difference in the game. Fortunately, they came back and won the game.
2-2 here. Thomas takes it inside for ball 1. Thomas walked his first time up. Shelton at third, or Shelnut at third. Albert at first.
Joe, I'm catching word that we have a watch party going on at Vero Beach. Coach Morris and friends are tuning in tonight. Coach, hope you're enjoying the game. We missed you here at the light, buddy.
Coach Morris remembers the day Jim Burke Jr. doubled Miami to the Super Regional. A swing and a miss. Thomas strikes out. Jim Burke Sr. climbed the backstop in Gainesville.
Yeah, well, Coach remembers a lot of great things as Zio comes in with a big strike out there. He had runners in the corners, and outside of a double play ball, any ball in play might have played it the go-ahead run here early in the ball game. Instead, now 2 outs in the inning, and we'll see if these Gators try to squeeze a run out of the Canes on the bases somehow. Again, a lot of inexperience by the Canes on the left side of the field.
Robertson digs in with 2 men down, 2 men on. First ball swinging. Pops it up. This one looks like it's going to come back to the main grandstand. Miami 2, Florida 2. Gators ranked 4th in the country.
Coach is actually enjoying watching his son, Will. Will started playing baseball a few years back. He loves it. Anytime you see Will around the light, he's always got a glove in his hand.
0-1 on Robertson. Ooh, that one just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albert at first, Shelnut at third. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zeal holding at the belt. Onto the screen, and Zeal is in front 1-2. Zeal 3 2/3. This will be pitch number 70 coming up. He's fanned 6 so far. Struck out 6, walked 1. Hurricanes took a 2-1 lead on a Torres home run to right field. The Gators have tied it here in the 4th. Now Robertson waiting on the 1-2. The number 9 hitter in their lineup. Likes to spray the ball around, takes it high. Gonzalez plays him straight up at second base. They got the hole open on the right side with Torres holding on the bag in the 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. This one on the ground. Jimenez to the backhand off his glove, and the Gators have a 3-2 lead. Well, Jimenez started tonight with a gold glove play, but a couple of fielding mistakes here for Miami. Gators have the lead now.
Yeah, I think you're going to get that as a base hit. I'm not sure he makes his play either way. That ball wasn't hit particularly hard at the hole. He goes to his feet to try to keep it clean and pop back up. Just wasn't able to field it cleanly. And I think even if he does field it cleanly, Michael Robertson, good speed coming out of the box from the left side, would have beat that out.
Robertson with a base hit and an RBI. Gators with a 3-2 lead now, so they come right back at Miami. Top of the order in Curlin.
Yeah, and those are the innings. Your team goes out, scores 2 runs. Your pitching coach always tell you, hey, you got to go out there and shut them down. Don't give any back. Go back out there, make sure you have a clean inning, and get us back into the offense. And of course, not the case there for Zeal. This inning, he struggled a little bit. Pitch count now starting to creep up.
1-1 to Curlin. Zeal struck out in the third. Curlin singled in the first. 1 for 2 is his line, the 1-1. Now it's 1-2.
And the Hurricanes actually had a play at first base. They were going to throw in behind the runner. You saw Perez on that pitch kind of pop up, and also Torres on that pitch was sneaking in behind the runner at first.
Curlin waits for the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Curlin, a well-rounded hitter, very dangerous. Good guy to have in your leadoff spot. He hits the ball to all fields. Kind of a different type of leadoff hitter, maybe more like the modern day leadoff hitter.
Yeah, you know, it's changed, right? Back in the day when I played, the leadoff hitter was someone that gets on base, kind of makes things happen, steals some bases, good on base percentage guy. You know, now the school of thought is you put anyone in that leadoff spot. You know, you got teams that like putting the power hitter leadoff. We've seen Giancarlo Stanton as a leadoff. Aaron Judge has been a leadoff sometimes. I'm drawing a blank on the lefty for I believe the Nationals, not the Nationals, the Eagles, the Phillies.
Oh,
Schwarber,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Schwarber. Curlin takes a call, strike 3 on the outside corner. Linus Baker waited a second or so, and Curlin.
It's Friday night at the light.
3-2 Gators. We go to the Miami 4th.
There you go. It's the student section, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah, look at the purple one.
Got a purple one?
Now, is that just one person in there, or there's someone like on someone else's shoulders?
I have no idea. Or maybe that's a new version of the milkshake race.
Yeah.
It's the carrot and the celery race.
Costello a ground ball to third. Thomas around the bag. Throw a little bit low, but in time. Taglione digs it out. Here comes Perez. Swing and a miss, nothing in one. Fisher, quick tempo. This kid knows how to pitch. Got a nice 3-pitch mix. That's in there for strike 2, and looks like he's starting to get himself into a groove here. Here comes the 0-2. That sails high. He doesn't waste a lot of time. That's the good news. Off the fist. Nice play by the first baseman on the backhand. He'll step on the bag using that 6'5" frame. Taglione.
Yeah, nice play there. Probably saved some extra bases. That ball gets by him. Probably gonna sneak itself out there to the corner. Instead, he feels that ball cleanly, makes an easy play at first base. That's when you're 6'5", you just kind of reach over for it and cover a lot of ground.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's Jimenez. Fly it out to right field his first time. 3-2 Gators. They've out hit Miami 5-4. Jimenez takes it inside. Fisher 89, he'll touch 93. Here comes the 2-0. Jimenez behind that one. 2 balls and a strike. Jimenez finds it foul.
So we talked about Coach Morris and the watch party. We got to go around the nation. You have some friends watching from Cooperstown.
Oh yeah, lovely.
Yeah, we have the Bumpus family watching us from Toledo, Ohio. So no, it's not the national game this weekend. That's going to be tomorrow's game, but some pretty good coverage around the country watching the Canes and the Gators tonight.
2-2. Jimenez is called out on strikes. And that's a 1-2-3 frame for Cade Fisher. We've gone 4 now at the light.
Passing up his pitches. We know that fastball, which routinely comes in between 93 and 95 miles per hour, is going to catch a break.
Oh boy.
On that one.
Caglione almost hit that one to Coconut Grove.
Yeah, but you know, it's not the fastball, it's his ability to mix up his pitches, and I've seen him sprinkle in that changeup a few times tonight. I think that's one of his best kept secrets. I think as the season goes on, I'd like to see him use that pitch a lot more.
Caglione off the fist. And now coming in is Costello in right field to make the play. I said Cody Bellinger. What do you think? Am I close? You look like Bellinger a little bit?
A bigger version of it.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure Bellinger stands at 6'5", but they have a similar swing. Bellinger's probably a little thinner, a little more meat on Castiglione, but definitely projects at the next level.
Here's Luke Heyman, another free swinger. Zeal starts him off with a breaking ball for a strike.
Yeah, going back to my comments on Zeal, and that's a perfect example right there. You got a team that you're facing that's pretty aggressive at the plate. They're coming out swinging. You got to make sure you mix your pitches up. I mean, at this level, unless you're throwing 95 to 98, you're not going to get a lot of fastballs by people. So 93, 95 is just good velocity. You got to mix your pitches up, and I like that he's done that today. He's done a good job of pitching backwards at times. You've seen a changeup at times, 2-1, 2-0. We saw a 3-1 breaking pitch early in this ballgame by him. So they're doing a great job, I think the coaches are, of calling a good game for Zeal.
Matt Dreyer, former University of Miami player, had Gage Zeal come up through his baseball academy in Rochester, New York. He said when Zeal was 10 years old, he was a Bulldog. And Matt Dreyer and his son are here to watch Gage Zeal pitch tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Heyman. In the air to center field, hit pretty well. Jacoby Long backing up to the warning track, to the wall. That one's gone, home run. Luke Heyman homers the straightaway center field, his 3rd of the year. And the Gators have a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, that ball just kept carrying. There's no breeze at all here tonight, as the flag is just pretty much motionless on that pole. But he first hits that ball, I didn't think it was going to get out. I just thought it was a deep fly ball. And you saw Long go back and go back and go back. We'll take a look at it once again, and just great power. Watch his head stay down on this ball. Watch him just purposefully stay down on that ball. Does a great job of driving it through the zone, and that's why that ball carries and goes the way it did. And I thought Long, not sure he catches it anyways, kind of mistimes that jump a little bit. Either way, unless you're Michael Jordan out in center field, that ball's going over the fence and gone. Just a great piece of hitting there.
He had 12 home runs last year as a freshman. Here's Shelton with a bouncer right back to Zeal. He'll take it halfway to the bag. Underhand toss for out number 2.
Yeah, you're in that part of the game now where you just got to be mindful of the pitch count. We talked about the power that this Gator offense brings to the table here. A lot of free swinging players on that team. You got a guy on the mound who's up there now, right around 91 pitches actually right now. So no one in the bullpen warming up. And we've talked about Zeal. When things go sideways, they tend to go sideways pretty quick. Not saying they are, but you just got to be mindful of where you are in the game right now.
2 outs, nobody on. A home run by Heyman. Gators 4, Miami 2. No balls, 1 strike. Ty Evans. Zeal struck him out in the 1st. Evans singled in the 4th. An infield single by Evans in the 4th inning. So the Gators, after Miami took a 2-1 lead, have scored 3 straight here and have a 4-2 lead. Here's the 0-1. Swinging, that one's fouled away.
Yeah, still some pretty good velocity. That fastball coming in at 92 miles per hour. And I mean, obviously, the first thing you look at as a sign for a pitch getting tired is the velocity. But second, you look at the location on the pitches.
This guy always looking to do damage. A swing and a miss, and Zeal struck him out on a pitch down and away. Evans strikes out swinging. Gators 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Miami 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. Been a good ball game. Storyline so far, the Gators put the ball in play at the critical time.
Well, I'll tell you the storyline that's not going to show up in the storyline, and there's 2 things that have happened against the Canes. Is we have a fly ball. It's going to be
Jacoby Long down the right field line, and a nice play by Evans.
the 2 things that will not show up in any stat sheet. You know, one of them will show up as a run for the Gators, but the ground ball, of course, to Torres, you make a good throw, that run doesn't score. Inning's over, right? You know, you assume they're going to get out of the inning because that would have been the second out of the inning. That's a 1-run difference in the ballgame right there in favor of the Gators, possibly 2 because a run scored a little bit later that inning. Then you have the base hit should have been the base hit by Long. The ball hit up the middle. He runs as if it's a base hit. He's running on the grass. If he just simply runs in a straight line, that's a base hit and the Canes score a run. That's a 3-run swing in this ball game where the Gators are up by 2.
Right, Miami at first and third. That's a base hit. That's a run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gators with a 4-2 lead. And now settling in is Cade Fisher. The lefty brings it home. 2 balls and a strike to Villegas. 2-1 to Villegas. Fisher is retired on a ground ball. Then there's a base hit left field. Now a slow roller down the third base line, and Villegas beats that one out.
Yeah, a little surprised Fisher did not make this play. I mean, I'm not sure if he just didn't read it off the bat. I mean, his reaction was extremely slow. He kind of watched this ball. He just kind of is looking at the third baseman almost like, are you going to get this? And remember, as a left-handed pitcher, when you release the ball, your natural motion moves you towards third base. That's a much easier play for him to go get and try to make the play at first than it would have been for the third baseman. Either way, it would have been a good play, but I just was a little surprised by his reaction.
Blake Sear digs in. A single on his line tonight. He struck out and singled, nothing in 1. He's the tying run. It's 4-2 Florida. All right, Sears down, nothing in 2 now. Fisher throws fastballs about 55% of the time to right-handed hitters, but Sears in a 0-2 hole. So what's he thinking?
Yeah, right now he's just trying to put a quality at bat together. He's really struggled since he's been back, and
oh, he took one right down the middle for strike 3.
yeah, they're getting him with that high fastball, and we saw one in the first inning that I thought was a borderline pitch. This one, I think, is also up. I mean, that's tough. I mean, that pitch is up by the letters, and I get it. He's been there, and he's called that throughout the night. But it's tough to ask these kids that consistently swing. That pitch is up, you know. But he's calling it, so as a hitter, you got to make the adjustment.
Sear becomes the 5th, the fan. And now Cuvée, and before Cuvée bats, a visit to the mound, and the Gators have Ryan Slater playing catch in the bullpen.
Yeah,
by the way, the Gators have 40 players on their roster. They brought 2 buses, and they've got 60 people in the dugout.
Yeah, it's
how are they all fitting in there?
It's easy to have a lot of depth when you have that, and I bet you half the roster is probably just pitchers alone. they stack them up. Coach Sullivan's going to stay with his lefty and give him a chance to go after freshman phenom Dave Cuvée.
There's Cuvée, hit by a pitch and grounded into a double play. That's inside for ball 1. Cuvée 5 home runs so far. Torres waiting his turn in the on-deck circle. So it's Fisher to the right-handed power swings of Daniel Cuvée. And that hit him. It's the second time tonight that Cuvée has been hit. You think their scouting report is go inside on him, but Cuvée is going to stare him down again.
Yeah, they're trying to bust him in, and we saw him the first time walk a little quicker to first base as he looked over at the pitcher Fisher. This time, obviously in a lot more pain. And you see the catcher sets up inside, and you know, as a pitcher, especially with a guy like Cuvée, you'll see the pitching coaches, they always tell you, if you're gonna miss, don't miss over the plate. With Cuvée, you cannot miss over the plate. So what he's doing is he's not hitting his spot. He's obviously missing, but he's missing at him, and he hit him. Now, that, you know, he gets on base. Now you got runners at first and second. But if you're going to miss, that's not a bad place to. Through 4 appearances, 10 innings of work, 13 strikeouts, and 3 walks.
Here is Torres, homered his last time up. You think that Kevin O'Sullivan has a profile for what he wants his pitchers to look like? He has 14 pitchers on his roster that are 6 feet and above. He has only 1 pitcher on his roster that is below 6 feet. Most of his pitchers are 6'3" to 6'6". He likes the tall right-handers.
And you go back at his track record at Florida and the success he's had. And again, it goes back to what happens on the mound. His time there has been all about the pitching. That's what carries his team. They've had their great years. It's been because they've had great pitching. And when they've struggled, it's been because they've struggled on the mound. The offense, it's not that it's not important. College baseball, you have to score runs to win. But it really starts with the man on the mound.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Slater to Torres with 2 on. And the pitch. Hit him. Now the bases are loaded. That's 3 Hurricanes that have been hit. Well, if you're Miami, there's one way to pay him back, Huicho, and that's get a base hit right now.
Yeah, you saw Torres. I'm not sure if he was upset at the pitcher or excited that he got hit. It was a 2-2. We'll watch him right here as he gets it in the back. And yeah, he's saying let's go to his teammates. I mean, it's a 2-2 count. Obviously, you're not getting hit intentionally there. So the Hurricanes with another opportunity. They've had their opportunities throughout this ball game. And we'll see if they're able to come up with a clutch base hit here as Dorian Gonzalez comes up to the plate.
There's Gonzalez up in a big spot. Takes it inside for a ball. It's Gators 4, Miami 2. This is a big spot in our ball game right here. A lot on the line. 4-2 Gators. Inside for ball 2. Golden chance for Miami to climb back into this one.
They saw Slater and the catcher both wanting that call. And I thought that ball was in. And we've seen a little bit of a generous strike zone, but I did think that ball was in.
Hurricanes trying to slice the deficit right here. 2 balls, no strikes. Off the outside corner, ball 3-0 to Gonzalez with Costello waiting his turn.
Yeah, you got to take a pitch here. I understand today's baseball, you're swinging 3-0 here. I'm taking a pitch here. I'm forcing him at least throw 1 strike before I swing a bat.
Slater from the stretch. Outside ball 4. He throws 4 straight balls after he hit 1. And now Miami's within a run. It's 4-3 here at the light, and the crowd is on their feet.
It's incredible. This is, you had Cuvée get hit with 2 outs. Torres gets hit with 2 outs on a 2-2 count. And they throw straight 4 balls to Dorian Gonzalez to walk in a run. Now a 1-run ball game. And again, I'm still taking a pitch. You got a guy on the mound who's rattled. He's hit 1, thrown 4 balls after that. Make him throw 1 over the plate before you give it to him.
They got a confident hitter too. Outside ball 1. He has no command right now. And out from behind the plate comes Luke Heyman.
Yeah, it looks like he's throwing a cutter. I mean, that pitch was 87 miles per hour. And he's a guy that throws in the low 90s and either throwing a cutter or just completely trying to aim that ball to the plate.
You mentioned 10-1 last year, earned run average of 4.22. Had 48 strikeouts, 19 walks in 59 innings. The phone rings in the Gators bullpen. They'll have a flurry of activity. Bases loaded for Miami. In there for a strike. Costello at the plate.
Yeah, you got a break there. That pitch actually off the plate also.
Covey at third, Torres at second, Gonzalez at first. In there for strike 2. 1-2 now on Costello. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. And the 1-2. That's in the dirt, 2-2. Boy, if you are Cuvée at third, you got to be on your toes for a wild pitch.
Yeah, no doubt. Right here, you just got to be ready as a base runner. You got 2 outs, 2 strikes. Those hands start swinging the bat. You got to start running.
2-2. Strike 3 called. Got him on the knees. Costello goes down looking with the bases loaded. Miami leaves him stranded. Slater fights his way out of it. The Canes get one back. Opportunity, but Slater strikes out. Costello looking.
And the Hurricanes choosing to stay with Gage Zio, and probably because of what happened during the midweek game. They had a 12-inning game 2 nights ago where they went to that bullpen quite a bit. And if they could just squeeze an extra inning out of Zio here and preserve just 1 inning from that bullpen, it would go a long way in getting some arms rested. And not only that, you got 2 more games this series. The last thing you want to do is go to that bullpen early in the series.
94 pitches on his ledger. Last time up, Shelna doubled to left field and came around to score. Canes had a big opportunity in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Again, it's been the little things for Miami tonight. The play at home plate on a throw by Torres. Jacoby Long not running hard enough. Costello goes down looking. You got to swing the bat with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3 called. Shelnut goes down looking. He becomes the 9th Gator to fan tonight.
Yeah, good job there by Zio coming out here to start this 6th inning with a fastball right in the knees, and that's a good pitch. He catches the knees, gets the first out here in the 6th. And again, every out he records from this point on, just bonus time for this Hurricane staff.
There's Armando Albert. Has struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. Hits this one in the air, softly center field. Long has it measured right at him, 2 down in the 6th inning. Albert, the 2nd out of the 6th. That brings up Dale Thomas.
Yeah, Joe, it's, you know, assuming Gage gets out of this inning here and retires the last hitter, as they're going to try to buy some time here. And they're going to have a conference with the hitter, and this is just basically trying to give Slater a few more moments to rest in that dugout. 2 quick outs here to start the bottom of the 6th, the top of the 6th, excuse me. But going back to what I was saying about Zio, I mean, he's pitched well. I mean, you look at the night, he's going to, and if he gets the out here, he'll go out on the losing side of the score, but it could easily be a 3-2 game Miami. Instead, they're down a run here, but he's had a nice night for the Hurricanes.
Been a good ball game. 4th-ranked Gators. College World Series finalists a year ago. Zio pumps that one in there and misses outside. Hurricanes against the Gators in this ballpark, all-time 81-51. This one skied. Torres, Perez, give it a look. Out of play. Gators won the national championship in 2017. (1-1). Gators have been to the World Series 13 times. 1 national title. Hard to win that thing. Here's the 2-1. Driven to right field, backing up is Costello to the warning track, to the wall, and makes the catch with his back against the wall. And it's a 1-2-3 frame for Zio in the 6th inning.
For that Hurricane inning was, you know, that you got bases loaded and 2 outs, and you got to swing the bat. And Costello, after watching Slater throw 4 straight balls, Slater comes back with some good pitches against him. But, you know, that 2-strike pitch was a fastball down the middle of the plate. You got to be ready for that. At a minimum, you got to swing the bat, try to foul it off. And just not a good sequence for Costello.
1 ball, no strikes to Jimenez. Grounds this one to third. Thomas stays in front of it, edge of the grass. Good throw. Jimenez is the 2nd out of the 6th inning. Difference in the ball game right now, the Heyman home run for the Gators. A 2-run 4th, and then Heyman with a solo home run in the 5th. Has him in front 4-3, Long at the plate. Long is 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out to second and fly to right field. The ground ball to second came with a base runner at third, and Armando Albert ranged far to his right to throw out Long, who perhaps thought there was a base hit to center field.
Yeah, those are the things, and we talked about it, earlier this ball game. Just again, they don't show up in the stat sheet, but those are the times in a game that you do the right thing, you play fundamental baseball, and somehow it ends up showing up in the scorebook, right? You look at the scoreboard and you're like, all right, and when you're not doing it, no one sees those things. So if you're just watching the game and you're watching the play out in second base, you didn't notice that happen, but that's the difference in this ball game right now.
Here's the 1-2. Long with a little flare. Albert going out and reaches out and makes the play. Armando Albert runs that one down. It's a 1-2-3 frame.
Not given up an earned run yet over 3 innings and a third innings of work. 4 hits and 6 strikeouts for Caba.
Well, he's got to keep it at a one-run ball game. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, we go back to Zio and you look at that stat line where it showed the 3 earned runs against him. Of course, Florida with 4 runs. I mean, the Hurricanes just didn't play their best game behind them. I feel their defense had some opportunities to either end innings or make some big plays. Just didn't happen tonight for the Hurricanes while Zio was on the mound.
No balls, 1 strike to Robertson. 1 for 2 tonight. Fouls that one off the fist back onto the screen. He has one of the Gators' 6 hits. They've out hit Miami 6-5. Here comes the 2 strike. That one just misses above the belt.
Yeah, you look at that pitch and you go back to Sears at bat. The ball's right around the letters. They called it a strike. Sears doesn't stand as tall. But this last pitch that didn't get called was right around the letters also, and you don't get the call. And that's where I see sometimes the strike zone should be bigger on taller hitters and smaller on shorter hitters, but you see it all the time. Umpires don't do that, right?
Right.
But either way, Caba comes back, gets the big strikeout.
Strikes out Robertson. Here comes Curlin. Cade Curlin digs in. Hurricanes charged with 1 error tonight. That was on Jimenez. The other one that was a base hit. Jimenez was not going to make that play. That was a rocket. Torres' throw was not an error. It would be a mental error, I guess. Officially, it's a fielder's choice, but
yeah, it's
it's obvious the throw's got to be a little bit better, right?
Yeah, it's an earned
like
run.
You said.
Yeah, so you go back, and that's what I was saying. You go back in the stat line. You gave up 4 runs, 3 of them earned. The unearned run was an error by Jimenez at shortstop. The Torres play doesn't count so that's an earned run, even though it shouldn't have been. And if he makes the throw and there's an out at home, there's 2 outs in the inning, that next run that ends up scoring later in the inning would not have scored either. So it could have been just 1 run given up which would have been the home run if they played a clean game behind him. Again, you got to like what you saw out of your ace today. I mean, he did a great job against one of the top 10 teams in the country.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Curlin drives that one down the right field line. And a long run for Costello. It's a foul ball.
Tell you what, that ball hung in there.
Yeah,
Huh? I thought
yep.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought it was going to be foul easily, and that ball just kind of hung in there. I mean, it was easily out of the ballpark. What a beautiful night down in Coral Gables.
2-2. Kevin O'Sullivan has built himself a heck of a program. Got the 1 World Series title to show for it. He's built a heck of a program. And he's made baseball in Gainesville fashionable. He's made it the place to go. 2-2. Now they have some built-in financial advantages that O'Sullivan's been able to take advantage of. But as I mentioned, 14 of the pitchers on his staff are 6 feet and above, so he can also recruit to a profile.
Well,
in addition to that, in the fall, you got 40 players today. In the fall, he might have, I don't know officially, he might have 80, he might have 50. He's got more than 40.
There's no doubt. It's a bigger
picking,
roster.
He's got a bigger roster in the fall. Therefore, he has some safety in numbers.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned he's got a profile. We'll take a pause here and watch this pitch by Caba.
3-2. Driven to left field and hit well. Villegas backing up, and that one is gone. Curlin hit that one like it was shot out of a cannon. Second home run of the night for the Gators.
Well, exit velocity on that one, 110 miles per hour. And I'm glad I took a pause on the comment I was making, as a good night for Cade Curlin as he starts this ballgame with a base hit in that first inning, comes around the score. And this, an absolute missile over the left field fence. And the Gators now back up 2 again in the top of the 7th. 372 feet, 110 off the batting. It does not get any easier as Jack Caglione comes to the plate.
Caglione tonight, 1 for 3. Look out, coming right back here in the main press box. Ricochets and goes back down into the main grandstand. Was headed for Susan Miller, a lot of names. Caglione waits, here's the 0-1. And he rockets this one to left field. Villegas will watch this one sail out of the ballpark. Back-to-back home runs.
I'm not sure if you caught that or not on the screen as Caglione goes back-to-back with the leadoff hitter, and Gators starting to open this up a bit here. And there's that power that has so many scouts excited about what this guy could do at the next level. But rounding first base, not sure who he looked back at, but he made a comment back towards the Hurricane dugout, or at least it seems so. We'll look at it right here. Just plate. This ball's right out over the plate as he got the bat flip. And watch him look back at this point right here. He said something back. I'm not sure. Maybe could have been to his own coach. Either way, there's that power.
Here comes Laz Gutierrez out of the dugout to calm down Cobb, who's got to be shell-shocked.
Both for the Gators, still a manageable game.
Here's what the Gators have tonight: a home run by Curlin, home run by Caglione, and a home run by Heyman. That's 1, 2, and 3. When you got 1, 2, and 3 hitting home runs, you probably got a pretty good chance to win. 1-0 to Heyman. He homered his last time up the center field.
Yeah, for Caba, he's got to get that pitch down. I think you saw it with Caglione. The ball was out over the plate, right around belt high. His pitch to Curlin, a little bit up. And this pitch, not this one right there, the one right before this one that was fouled back by Heyman, also up in the zone. I mean, he's around 90, 91 from the left side. He's got to live low in the zone. And this guy's got to pitch to ground balls.
2-1 offering. High fly ball, deep center field. Back goes Jacoby Long to the warning track. He's at the wall, and he's there to make the play.
Yeah, we'll look at this again as Long camps under it. And we saw one of those go out of the ballpark earlier off the bat of Heyman. This one does not hit it as well. But that pitch is out over the belt. I mean, you can't live there at 90, 91. You got to be able to work inside, work outside, and that fastball's got to be down. You got to be on the knees somewhere.
Colby Shelton, nothing for 3 tonight. Inside for a ball, 1-0. Last time up, Shelton went out 1-3. Another power hitter for the Gators. Shelton had 25 home runs a year ago. 3-0. Missed inside. A 2-out walk. Here comes Evans.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the end of the night for Cabo. We saw a right-hander warming up, and that's Jay Arteaga coming out of the dugout. And short stint tonight for Cabo.
Noderman will be coming on for the University of Miami. Gators have opened this one up here in the 7th inning using their power. Back-to-back home runs here in the 7th inning, and home runs, and have opened this thing up to a 6-3 lead.
Yeah, you see the numbers last year. Transfer out of Gulf Coast State, 17 games pitched in. He was 6-2 with a 6.65 ERA over 46 innings. Gave up 39 hits over those innings.
Here is Evans, 1 for 3 tonight. And when you write the story of this game, Evans must be mentioned because he's the one who scored with a beautiful slide at home plate on Torres' throw that was just a little bit off the mark.
That's a great point, Joe, because we keep talking about the throw and it being off the line. There's no doubt it was, but if it wasn't for an exceptional slide, it still could have been good enough to get the out at the plate.
Most guys at this level are going to slide into the tag.
Yep.
Here's the 2-0.
Yeah, we were talking, Joe and I were talking during the break, and Joe, it's like you go back to that at bat by Costello, and you got bases loaded, 2 outs, a pitcher that was on the ropes there, and he found his strike zone against you, but you got to swing the bat. I think since then, even the crowd a little deflated since then.
Covey goes the short way. The Gators are gone. Take them to a 6-3 lead as we go to the Miami 7th inning. First ball swing, Villegas sends this one into the outfield, and the left fielder Shelnut is there to make the play. Canes are down 3 runs now. Miami had the bases loaded back in the 5th inning and only got 1 run out of it.
And this is the guy, they just need him to break out. I'm not sure. I think his last at bat, that might have been, he's 0 for 3 in the night, isn't he, Steve?
1 for 2, 1 for 3.
He did get a base hit?
Had a base hit in the 3rd. Here's the 0-1. Nasir struck out in the 1st, struck out in the 5th. He's been behind the count all night long, every at bat.
One of the best hitters in this ball club last year, his freshman campaign.
1-2 on Sear. Two. Just missed. Full count, 3-2 on Sear with Cuvée.
Yeah, good job of laying off that pitch. That pitch down in the zone, a slider. Tried to get him to chase that pitch.
Cuvée waiting his turn behind Sear. A 3-2 delivery, and here it comes. Ripped it foul. Might be his best swing of the night.
Yeah, we got a good piece of that one. And again, for the Canes, regardless of what happens here tonight, just getting Sear going, it's so important. I mean, he's such a big part of this lineup. The emergence of Torres and Cuvée has been great, but they really need him to get going.
Full count, 3-2, and the pitch. Struck him out swinging. Sear has struck out 3 times tonight.
Yeah, there's that slider once again, Joe. He gets him chasing that slider out off the plate, and as a hitter, he's sitting fastball, just doesn't read the spin on it, and swings right through it for 2 quick outs here at the bottom of the 7th.
And now Slater is set down 6 in a row. After he hit Torres and walked Gonzalez with the bases loaded, he has sent 6 Hurricanes in a row away. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss by Cuvée. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're just a little too aggressive right there.
2-1, touches 92 on that one. Slater doesn't wait around.
Yeah, what makes Slater effective, I mean, it's really that slider. He's got a nasty slider. He's got a good enough fastball, but it's that slider. He works down in the zone and away from these righties.
2-2, struck him out. And he retires Miami in 1-2-3 fashion. We've completed 7 innings at the light. 4th ranked Florida 6, and Miami. Shelnut, Albert, and Thomas for the Gators. Shelnut tonight has struck out twice. In between, he has a double. A double to his line on a 1-for-3 night. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2. Gators trying to add to Miami's frustration through the years in this series.
Yeah, you look at the history, and they talk about when you go on winning streaks, you just start developing an expectation. And I'm talking about really when you're winning. You just kind of feel that confidence. You feel like, you know what, that's what we're supposed to do. And that's definitely been the side the Gators have experienced over the last decade and a half. And it used to be the other way around. Back when I was here, it was like you went there, you knew, hey, we're gonna win because that's what we do. Right. But it hasn't been the case with these two programs over the last decade.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The series is getting closer and closer to being even. 134 to 132 with 1 tie. Three and 2. That one in the dirt, and the appeal, he struck him out. Now they're going to have to make the tag. Perez tags out Shelnut. Shelnut thought he walked. He was taking off his shin guard. He thought it was ball 4.
Yeah, you'll take a look at it again, a pitch in the dirt, and wow.
He thinks it's ball 4.
Yeah, Canes definitely catch a break there. That wasn't even close.
He's taking off his armor. Now he's still barking, walking back to the dugout.
There was, I think, I'm not sure if it was Sullivan or one of the other coaches came out of the dugout, and good job of kind of diffusing the situation by the third base umpire, Doug Bynes. But that wasn't even close.
Here's Armando Albert. Played a nice second base tonight. He would be the outlier on this team in terms of size. But this might be one of the biggest teams in college baseball. I don't think anybody's under 6'2" in this starting lineup, except for Albert.
He's quietly had a pretty nice night at second base. He made the play we talked about earlier with Long. I mean, Long should have came out of the box running straight, but he did make a great play up the middle. And then earlier, just an inning or two ago, that he made a fly ball that I thought was going to land in between him and the right fielder, and he kind of got a great jump, went back, and made that play look easy.
I list Albert at 5'11" and Curlin at 5'11". All right. Notterman misses low. Falls behind 3-1. Gators 6, Miami 3. Gators got a lot of breathing room, put some space between them and the Hurricanes in the 7th with back-to-back home runs. The 3-1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2.
So I think this is back-to-back games. We got the Cookie Monster once again visiting the stadium right behind home plate. It's been an interesting night with
the costumes.
the costumes, right? Is it a full moon? I'm not sure. What do we got going on here tonight?
Notterman hands out his second free pass. Here comes Thomas. Be careful with him.
Yeah, go back to the preseason and expectations for this Hurricane ball club. And the question marks, one of the big question marks was going to be that bullpen and what was going to happen out of that bullpen. They knew that the starting pitching they felt really good about, and Zeal did his part today. The bullpen hasn't necessarily done their part yet. You know, still some baseball left here. And then offensively, they weren't sure what was going to happen. Were they going to get the offensive output that they needed? They had a lot of players they lost last year, and tonight They haven't gotten it. Just 3 runs on the night.
Free swinging Dale Thomas. You have to be careful with him. He has walked, struck out, lined out to right field. He's thinking one thing when he swings. He's trying to hit it out of the ballpark. He swings right out of his shoes. Here's the 1-0. Skies this one. Out goes Jimenez. On comes Long. Jimenez, Long, and Long makes the play. Jimenez was looking for an exit route.
Yeah, it looks like someone in that dugout might have told Long, hey, if you can get the ball, you catch the ball. Don't let the shortstop that's backpedaling make that play. Because early in the ball game, a similar fly ball, we saw Jimenez make the play, and Long kind of was camped right under it. Should have called them off. Not the case on that last one.
Here's Michael Robertson. Good bat control, 1 for 3 tonight. Struck out in the 4th inning. That's a waist-high strike. Six to 3 Florida in the 8th inning. Miami has 6 outs to play with. A 1-strike offering. Check swing. Strike 2. 0-2.
You saw Paris come up. The runner at first actually faked as if he was stealing. You'll see them do it a lot. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get that catcher to come up, and maybe a pitch on the dirt gets by him. That's the main purpose. So 1, you're trying to get that catcher up. 2, you're trying to get one of the middle infielders, whoever's covering, get them breaking towards the bag, maybe open up a hole in the defense.
Here's the 0-2. Swung on a miss, he struck him out. Noterman strikes out Robertson, pitches around a 1-out walk. Midway in the 8th, 4th ranked Florida 6th. Observe it right now. Each other watching in St. Augustine. They're watching in Baton Rouge, watching in Boston. You mentioned Cooperstown earlier, our good friends in Cooperstown.
Joe, that's because you're Mr. International, buddy. You are the man that goes coast to coast, baby.
Here comes Torres, had a home run, put Miami in front 2-1.
Or maybe it's just because the Gators and the Canes are playing.
I think it's more the Gators and the Canes. Torres hit by a pitch tonight, homer to right field, and is struck out. The 0-1. Ball's behind 0-2.
One thing's for sure, we got great fans that follow this great sport. And it's always fun to get them involved. Joe and I are constantly checking on our fans. So thank you to all of you that are always reaching out to us.
Torres strikes out the first out of the 8th inning. That's eight in a row put down now by Slater. 2 2/3. 4 strikeouts, a walk. Got up to a shaky start. Hit Torres. Walked Gonzalez with the bases loaded. Fell behind Costello. Struck Costello out, and since then has looked like Bob Gibson. Am I dating myself?
No, you're good. That was perfect. That was perfect.
Nolan Ryan.
It's a great assessment. I mean, again, you go back to his stuff. I mean, this is a guy that is a great competitor on the mound. You're watching that fastball at 91. He's not going to overpower you. He's 89 to 92 with the fastball. But what makes him so effective is that right there. That's just a nasty slider right there. He's got that fastball he shows you with enough velocity that when he comes with that slider, you're gearing up thinking it's a fastball, and it's tough to pick it up. He's got great rotation on that slider.
1-2 to Gonzalez. That's in the dirt. Ryan Slater from Palm Harbor, Florida. Gonzalez with a tapper. Slater fields. Underhand toss. 2 down in the Miami 8th inning. 9 in a row now put down by Slater.
And Joe, we could talk about the defense, and we could talk about the throw at home plate and some of the things the Hurricanes have not been able to do. But when you look up at the scoreboard and you got 5 base hits on the night, you're not going to win a lot of baseball games with 5 base hits.
There's Costello. The game changed for Miami in the 5th inning. Costello was caught looking with the bases loaded. Hits this one in the air to right field. Charging in is Evans. Backing up is Albert. It's going to be Evans to take it away from Albert. And another 1-2-3 frame for Slater. Keeps Miami off the board. He sails through the 8th. We go to the 9th. In between, sandwich in between 2 strikeouts. That's in there for a strike. This was a 4-3 ball game before Curlin and Caglione homered for the Gators back-to-back. This one into center field for a base hit. 3rd hit of the night for Curlin.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there by Curlin. He gets a pitch a little bit off the hands there, just strong enough to get that over the shortstop out into center field. As the Gators looking to put some insurance runs on the board, and J.D. Arteaga is going to go back to the bullpen. Letterman did a pretty good job. He kept things pretty much at bay.
The Gators in front by 3, 6-3.
Yeah,
trying to keep it right where it is.
Yeah, we've seen JT Caruso get some early action in his freshman campaign. We saw him pitch Wednesday as well. He's got, coming from the left side, long, lanky body, stands at 6'2", 185.
And by the way, here you go, kid. First guy you're going to face is going to be in the major leagues in about 3 years.
Maybe sooner.
Maybe sooner. Caglione digs in, 6'5", 250 pounds, homered his last time up. This is like having Aaron Judge bat second.
Look at the numbers last year. I mean, 33 home runs at the college level, 90 RBIs.
Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. He's popped the short, single to right field, flied out to right field, and homered to left field. Ball and a strike. This really is modern era baseball, right? Guy hits 33 home runs. He's hitting second.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of the thought process behind it, it makes all the sense in the world, right? You look at it over a season, you're in the top of the lineup, you're going to get more at-bats throughout the season. That's more opportunities to put one out of the ballpark, more opportunities to help your team. And when coaches started understanding it and the game switched from small ball, stealing bases, moving runners over to sit back and wait, then they're like, why put him in the 4 spot? You know, maybe it's one less at-bat a game.
Squibs this one. Cuvée will throw low and not in time. Cuvée on the shortstop.
Yeah,
the throw's a little bit low.
Yeah, you have to understand. I mean, even though he's not the fastest runner, you got to understand that ball's hit slow. He just takes way too much time here. That extra step, and he beats him out. They're going to review it. Just again, the third baseman is playing basically the third baseman playing the shortstop position, and just a little slow at approaching that ball, and just took a little too long to get it out of his hand.
Safe.
And once again, great job to all our camera crew. They do such a great job of giving us the different angles and slowing it down for our viewers.
Interesting thing about Caglione is coming out of high school, very highly ranked. Did not enter Major League Baseball. Big swing and a miss by Heyman. He was considered the #1 first baseman in the country. And oh, by the way, he's considered the #4 left-handed pitcher in the country. Caruso takes something off of that one, and Heyman right over the top of it, 0-2.
Yeah, we haven't talked about how good he is on the mound, and you don't see two-way players at the next level very often, but one of the best athletes at the big league level.
The Gators version of Ohtani.
Yeah, Ohtani. He's kind of changed the way people look at it, and why not?
I would agree. I'd like to see more two-way players. Heyman tonight with a home run in the 5th inning. Big, strong right-handed hitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got to be careful with Heyman. Good hands and the pitch. Tapper, Caruso. The second for one. That's all they're going to get. He pulls Gonzalez off the bag on it's almost a tailor-made double play ball.
Yeah, and you know, the night continues for this Hurricane team. We'll take a look at it. Just ground ball right back up the middle. You got to get that. Give them a good feed. This is as easy as it gets. And Gonzalez good enough to get the out at second. And the theme continues. It's what's not going to show up in the stat sheet that's going to doom the Canes tonight. Just haven't gotten it done. And again, it's not that they're making errors. It's not going to show up. But this inning is a perfect example. It's kind of the way the game's gone, right? You got the ground ball to Cuvée. Should have been an out at first. Instead, it's a base hit. Doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Now you got a ground ball back up the pitcher. Should be a double play ball. Instead, you get one out. Now you got runners in the corners, and we'll see how this inning fares.
First and third. 1 ball, no strikes to Shelton. Colby Shelton came in hitting .370. Curlin at third. Heyman at first. Hurricanes have the infield in and a swing and a miss. Maybe you call it halfway, but that's a big insurance run over there at third for the Gators. 2-1 driven into right field. Costello makes the play sliding to one knee, and that's going to allow the run to score.
Yeah, once he went down to his feet to make the play, there's really no play at the plate. A good defensive play there to get the out. The runner from first, Curlin, will score easily as he puts together a pretty impressive night on the offensive side as J.D. Arteaga is going to go back.
Of a lot of fundamental Miami mistakes.
Yeah, it just hasn't been a clean game for this Hurricane team, and the bullpen, who again, they have a lot of question marks as far as who will be their bullpen guys. Who's going to come in and shut the door? Who's going to come in and set the game up for the closure? Still a lot of questions to be answered there. These Canes staff feel really good about their starters. They think they'll get enough offense. Not sure what's going to happen once they go to the bullpen, and tonight's not going to help with any of those answers.
Zeal left in a one-run game. There's a one hopper to Jimenez. He'll go the short way to Gonzalez at second. Hurricanes coming up in the ninth inning. It's 7, 8, and 9. And last year, 34 appearances. Pitched to an earned run average of 3.58. Struck out 72. Walked 22. He sent the Gators to Omaha. Closed out the final inning against South Carolina in the Super Regionals on June the 10th. And then in Omaha, Joey had a win against Virginia, and he beat TCU as well. So very experienced 6'3" pitcher on the mound.
As you mentioned, a big part of that success the Gators had last year was because of number 22. And when he was on the mound, those 13 saves. Still looking for his first save of the season. This is not a save situation as the Canes are down 4 runs.
Scanlon comes on as the pinch hitter. Gators have Jalen Guy now in center field. Next one to Scanlon. Swing and a miss. Robertson moves to right field. The 1-1. Scanlon takes it outside. Here's the 2-1. Skies this one foul.
And of course, the Canes down 4 runs. This is really going to come down to, are you going to have enough base runners here in the bottom of the ninth to give yourselves a chance? A lot of work left here for them to have any hope of squeezing this one out.
Scanlon stays alive, fouls that one away.
And if you're looking for positives for these Canes, assuming the score stays the way it is, I mean, you're playing the number 4 team in the country. You know you've played just really not a clean game. And I don't want to say it was a sloppy game, but just too many mental errors.
There's a base hit to right field to get things started here in the ninth inning. Jack Scanlon singles to right field. That ends the streak. 10 in a row had been retired, and Scanlon singles to right field. Here comes Jimenez.
And you just got to string a couple base hits. So I was saying, if you're looking for a positive, again, assuming the score stays the same way, you didn't play a clean game. You had, more than a few mental errors, and you played with the number 4 team in the country up until late in the game. Again, you still don't know what's going to happen this inning, but this is a team that could build from that. But you still got to know you got to go out and do it. It can't be, oh, yeah, we were close. You got to go out and do it. And on the flip side of it, this Florida team's really played a solid game. I mean, they've showed you why they're a nationally ranked team.
Fly ball center field. Guy drifting to his right and makes the play. One down in the Miami ninth inning. You look at some of those little things, the throw by Torres. You know the Gators, they're going to hit home runs. So if they're going to hit home runs, then you got to find a way to stop them someplace else.
Yeah.
And you get the infield drawn in and have a ground ball right to your first baseman with a play at the plate. You got to make that play.
Yeah, and again, I'm always amazed at the things that don't show up in the stat sheet. Go back to that, and we talked about the runs, but let's talk about something else we haven't talked about. How many more pitches did Gage Seal throw because of those? And maybe that gives you an extra inning of Gage, and now instead of giving you 6 innings, he gives you 7, and you're able to shorten the game and maybe go to a closer, maybe go to a setup guy instead of having to go to some of those younger arms. So much goes into it. Every time you do something that puts more pressure on that pitcher, there's a ripple effect throughout the game.
There's Kulikowski. Nothing in 1 on Kulikowski. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. And you mentioned early in the game the Jacoby Long play. Perhaps you get a run there. But you know what Miami has to find out tonight is this is what you're up against. It's one good arm after another. So you have the bases loaded. Get called a strikeout looking with the bases loaded. Easy for me to say up here, but
yeah, and again, you got to give credit.
You got to find a way to swing the bat, but give them credit.
You got to give credit to this Gator team. They've played a very clean game, and they've got an opportunistic hitting, and that bullpen's done a great job.
1-2. Kulikowski, a swing and a miss. Miami's down to their last out.
Some of the Gator fans having fun with the Hurricane hitters. Hurricane fans historically will march the hitters back to the dugout when there's a strikeout, and the Gator fans doing it the other way now to the Hurricane hitters. As we mentioned, this crowd is not, it will be a Hurricane dominant crowd, but you do have a good amount of Florida fans that will attend this weekend's games.
Villegas now behind, nothing in 2. Now Miami down to their last strike. Here's the 0-2. Inside. Gators won 2 out of 3 last year in Gainesville. They won the Friday game. Miami won on Saturday. Then the Gators won the series on Sunday. 1-2 to Villegas. Long pause. Now the pitch. Lines it fair toward the corner in left field. Shelno will try to dig it out. Here comes Scanlon, the third. He'll be held right there. Miami has runners at second and third. Villegas, an opposite field double, and the Hurricanes are still huffing and puffing.
Yeah, a great at bat there by Villegas to extend this ball game and give the Hurricanes an opportunity to extend it. Here you go. This is a pitch out over the plate. Does a nice job of lacing that ball the other way. You see the third baseman is playing off the line. Not a chance for him there. And the Hurricanes now 1 base runner away from sending the tying run to the plate. And you got your power hitters coming up. You got Sear, Cuvée, and Torres.
Got your heavy hitters right here. The first one to Sear is down low for a ball. Brandon Neely, our throwing right-hander. Sear tonight has struck out 3 times. Got a base hit back in the third. Here's the 1-0. Looked like he was backing away a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He was sitting on a fastball, didn't get it. That's a good take there by Sear.
That's a call strike on the corner. That's a pitcher's pitch, and now again, Miami down to their final strike. 1-2. 2 on, 2 out. Neely to Sear. And here it comes. Wrapped on the ground to the shortstop. Shelton gloves and throws in time to get Sear, and the Gators take game 1. The 4th-ranked Florida Gators come to Coral Gables. They win game 1, and they are within 1 game